Good day everyone! I am Pricey Mariti Sirinio from BEd 1A, and this video is a continuation for the module or topic number 8, which is the sculpture. And I am the second subtopic presenter assigned for this module. So before I proceed to my discussion on the topic assigned for me, let me first present my learning objectives. So I have here two learning objectives. So at the end of this video or the discussion, learners are expected to first evaluate the two borderly classification of sculptures, and lastly to identify the three types of sculptures. So before we start with our main topic, let us first have a recall or recap of the first subtopic presenter for this module, which is the meaning of sculpture. So let us first recall what is a sculpture. I know that the first sub-presenter already discussed what is sculpture and the meaning behind the word sculpture, but let us first have recalled it, okay? So, what is sculpture? Now, sculpture is the creation of three-dimensional art forms by shaping, assembling materials like stone, metal, clay, and even woods. Also, it involves analyzing techniques, style, and meaning. So, sculpture is an artistic form in which hard and plastic materials are worked into three-dimensional art object. Also, in making sculpture, it possesses the idea of expressing religious, personal, and political views. Now, this type of artworks is meant to create sense of patriotism, greatness, pride, and um, spiritual respect. Sculptures become more popular in decoration items in private homes and office facilities, and in long term it become a valuable art investment. So now let us proceed to our main topic. So we have here the sculpture and borderly classified into two. So we have the round sculpture and relief sculpture. So let us first understand what is round sculpture. So round sculpture, or also called as a freestanding sculpture, is a sculpture that can be viewed from all sides. So here's an example of a round sculpture or freestanding sculpture. These are the sculpture that are not attached to anything, not on wall, a fence, or a window, nor a building. Round sculpture. These are sculpture that, in short, it stands independently and are designed to be viewed from all angles. So, the second one is the relief sculpture. Now, this sculpture is attached to a ground and projects from it. Also, here is the example of it, a relief sculpture. Also, in this type of sculpture, it has classified two relief sculpture. So, we have first the high relief sculpture. It is a relief sculpture that is almost the same as the freestanding sculpture on the previous one, but it differs from the later because it is attached so that the back part cannot be seen by an onlooker. In front, or the front part as well as the left and right side can be viewed. So the second one on the classification of relief sculpture, we have the low relief or bas relief. It refers to almost the same as painting because it is somewhat flat and attached to a surface or a plain surface, but differ from the later because the volume and medium used varies from the medium used in painting. So I also provided here an example. Now on the next clip, I'm going to show the difference of high and low relief sculpture. The difference between high and low relief sculpture is that high is a type of relief sculpture that projects significantly from the background and is almost as three-dimensional as the round sculpture, while low relief sculpture is the projection from the background are relatively shallow. So if you could observe on the picture presented, you can really differentiate between the high and low relief sculpture. The high, it is more visible than compared to the low relief sculpture, which it has like a shallow or like gamay lang ang ano sa object niya ba. So now let us proceed to the types of sculpture. So we have three. This is based on the module that was provided to us. So the first one we have bust, then the second is the statue, and lastly is architectural. So now let us first start with our first type of sculpture, which is the bust. Now, a bust is a sculpted and painted representation of the upper part of the human figure, such as the head, neck, shoulders, chest, and breast. So here I provided an example of that. The second one is the statue. Now, it is a life-size. This type of sculpture is a life-size or larger size of a sculpture of a person or even an animal made of metal, stone, or woods. So here are some examples of statues sculpture. So we have the UP Ablution by Guillermo Tolentino, the Ecstasy of Saint Teresa by Gian Lorenzo Bernini, and the last one, David by Michelangelo Bonotari in Florence, Italy. So now let us proceed to the last part or the last type of sculpture. So we have the architectural. So this type of sculpture is a universal classification used to describe a structural design such as buildings, bridges, burial chamber, and other big projects rather. Then it is from a brand of materials which includes carved concrete and other architectural supplies. And that's it for my report. I do hope that you did learn something throughout the video and the discussion. And thank you for watching.